The desert wind howled across the research station like a lonely ghost. Dr. Maya Rodriguez had been working alone for 3 weeks now, and the isolation was starting to get to her. She was supposed to have a partner, but budget cuts meant she was handling the entire archaeological survey by herself. Maya specialized in studying ancient impact craters, trying to understand what happened to Earth millions of years ago. The Atacama Desert was perfect for this work because it was so dry and empty that ancient traces stayed preserved for incredibly long periods. Tonight felt different, though. Her equipment was picking up strange readings that made no sense. She checked her instruments again. The electromagnetic scanner was going crazy, showing energy patterns she had never seen before. The readings were coming from the old crater site about 2 miles north of the station. Maya had studied that crater dozens of times. It was supposed to be completely dead, geologically speaking. Against her better judgment, she decided to investigate. The smart thing would be to wait until morning, but curiosity had always been her weakness. She grabbed her portable scanner, a flashlight, and her emergency radio. The night air was surprisingly cold for the desert. As Maya walked toward the crater, the readings on her scanner grew stronger. Whatever was causing this energy signature was definitely there. She climbed the rocky edge of the crater and looked down into the bowl-shaped depression. At first, everything looked normal. Just rocks and sand, same as always. Then she saw the light. It started as a faint blue glow near the center of the crater. Maya blinked hard, thinking maybe she was seeing things. The glow grew brighter, pulsing like a heartbeat. Her scanner was beeping frantically now, as the energy readings were off the charts. Suddenly, the entire crater lit up like daylight. Maya threw her hands up to protect her eyes. When the brightness faded, something impossible was sitting in the center of the crater. A craft of some kind, but unlike anything she had ever seen. It looked like it was made of liquid metal and crystal, somehow both solid and flowing at the same time. Maya's heart was pounding so hard she could hear it in her ears. Every instinct told her to run, but her scientific mind kept her feet planted. This was the discovery of the century, maybe the discovery of all time. As she watched, a section of the craft opened silently. No doors or hatches, just the surface flowing apart like water. A figure emerged from inside. Even from a distance, Maya could tell it wasn't human. The being was tall and graceful, moving with an otherworldly elegance. Its skin seemed to glow with a soft inner light, and when it turned toward her, Maya saw eyes that looked like captured starlight. Beautiful and terrifying at the same time. The creature took a few steps away from its craft, then suddenly stumbled and fell to its knees. Maya realized it was hurt. Without thinking, she started climbing down into the crater. Her scientific training kicked in, overriding her fear. Whatever this being was, it needed help. As she got closer, Maya could see more details. The visitor was definitely female, with features that were almost human but somehow more refined. Her clothing looked like it was made of the same flowing material as the craft. Dark liquid was seeping from a wound on her side. When Maya was about 10 feet away, the being looked up at her. Their eyes met, and something extraordinary happened. Maya heard a voice in her mind, speaking words she somehow understood, even though they weren't in any language she knew. "Please," the voice said. "I mean no harm. My vessel is damaged. I am injured." Maya approached slowly, her hands visible too. Show she wasn't carrying any weapons. The being tried to stand, but swayed dangerously. Without hesitation, Maya caught her before she could fall again. The alien's skin was warm to the touch and had a texture like silk. Up close, Maya could see intricate patterns of light moving just beneath the surface, like living tattoos. Wound on her side was serious but not immediately life-threatening. "I'm going to help you," Maya said out loud, not sure if the being could understand spoken English. "My research station isn't far. I have medical supplies there." The response came directly into her mind again. You show kindness to a stranger. This is not common where I come from. Supporting the injured visitor, Maya began the slow walk back. To her research station, the alien was surprisingly light, despite being taller than Maya. With each step, more questions flooded Maya's mind. Where did this being come from? How did she get here? Why was she hurt? I am called Kira, the voice, in her mind said, apparently picking up on Maya's thoughts. I am from a world you call Kepler 4 for 2b. My people have watched your planet for many generations. Maya almost stopped walking from shock. Kepler 442b was a real planet discovered by astronomers years ago. It was over 1,000 light years away from Earth. The idea that someone could travel that distance seemed impossible. You doubt? Kira's mental voice continued. This is wise. Trust should not be given easily. By the time they reached the research station, Maya's mind was spinning with implications. She helped Kira into the small medical bay and began cleaning the wound. The alien's blood was a deep blue color that seemed to glow faintly in the artificial light that as Maya worked, Kira began to tell her story through their strange mental connection. She was royalty on her homeworld, something like a princess. But she had refused an arranged marriage that was supposed to unite two warring groups on her planet. When she tried to escape, someone had sabotaged her ship's navigation system. Was supposed to reach the outer colonies, Kira explained as Maya bandaged her wound. Instead, my ship brought me here. Perhaps the universe has its own plans. Maya finished treating the injury and stepped back. The whole situation felt like a dream. A few hours ago, her biggest worry was running out of coffee. Now she was harboring an alien refugee in her research station. Your leaders will want to study me, Kira said, sadness coloring her mental voice. I understand this. I am proof that your people are not alone in the cosmos. Maya looked at this wounded visitor from the stars and made a decision that would change everything. Not if I have anything to say about it. You're safe here, at least for now. For the first time since their meeting, Kira smiled. It was a beautiful expression that seemed to light up the entire room. Thank you, Maya Rodriguez. Your kindness will not be forgotten. As dawn approached over the desert, Maya realized that her quiet life of studying ancient rocks was over forever. The universe had just become a much bigger and more dangerous place. But looking at Kira, she also felt something she hadn't experienced in years. Hope. 3 days had passed since Kira's arrival, and Maya's world had turned completely upside down. She had called in sick to her research team, claiming she had caught some kind of desert flu. The lie came surprisingly easily, but the guilt was eating at her. She had never been good at keeping secrets. Kira was healing faster than any human could. The wound on her side was already closing, leaving only a faint silver line on her glowing skin. Maya had watched in amazement as the alien's body seemed to repair itself. When she asked about it, Kira explained that her people had evolved advanced healing abilities over thousands of years. On my world, we face many dangers, Kira said, her voice now coming through both telepathy and actual speech. She was learning English at an incredible rate. Those who could not heal quickly did not survive to have children. Maya was fascinated by everything about Kira's biology. The patterns under her skin weren't just decorative. They were actually part of her nervous system, carrying information and emotions in ways that humans couldn't understand. When Kira was happy, the patterns glowed brighter. When she was sad or worried, they dimmed to almost nothing. The alien princess had set up a small device in the corner of Maya's living quarters. It looked like a crystal flower, but it projected three-dimensional images that took Maya's breath away. These weren't just pictures. They were memories, pulled directly from Kira's mind and made visible. This is my home city, Kira said, waving her hand to change the holographic display. Maya gasped. Massive crystal structures floated in the clouds above a gas giant planet. The buildings seemed to grow rather than being built, twisting and spiraling like living things. Beings like Kira moved through the air between the structures, their skin, patterns creating a language of light that painted the sky in beautiful colors. How do you fly? Maya asked, unable to hide her wonder. Kira smiled and touched a small device behind her ear. We use sound waves to manipulate gravity. Your scientists are beginning to understand this concept, but they have not yet learned. To apply it, the next image showed Kira's family. Her parents were tall and regal, with skin that seemed to contain entire galaxies. Her younger brother looked more playful, his light patterns dancing with mischief. But there was sadness in Kira's eyes as she showed these memories. "I may never see them again," she whispered. "By refusing the marriage, I have brought shame to my family name." Maya reached out and touched Kira's arm gently. "You did what you thought was right. That takes courage." "Your people understand choice in ways mine do not," Kira replied. "Tell me about human partnerships. How do you choose who to share your life with?" For the next hour, Maya found herself explaining human dating, marriage, and relationships. It felt strange describing something so normal to someone from another world. Kira listened with intense interest, her skin patterns shifting with each new concept. "So you can choose anyone you wish?" Kira asked. "There are no political considerations, no alliances to consider?" "Well, sometimes families have opinions," Maya laughed. "But ultimately it's our choice. We're supposed to marry for love, not duty." Concepts seemed to amaze Kira. On her world, marriages were arranged to strengthen families and maintain peace between different groups. Love was considered a pleasant bonus, but not a requirement. As they talked, Maya began to notice something strange happening to her dreams. For the past 2 nights, she had been having vivid visions of places she had never seen. Crystal cities, purple skies, and beings of light filled her sleep. The dreams felt more real than her waking life. "It is beginning," Kira said, when Maya mentioned the dreams. "My people form bonds with those we trust. Your mind is connecting with mine." Maya felt a chill of fear. "Is that dangerous?" "It's not dangerous, but permanent," Kira admitted. "I should have warned you sooner. But you have been so kind, and I have been alone for so long. I did not realize how quickly it would happen." The telepathic connection was getting stronger every day. Maya could sense Kira's emotions, and sometimes her thoughts would drift into Maya's mind without invitation. It was overwhelming, but also strangely comforting. For the first time in years, Maya didn't feel alone. Their peaceful routine was interrupted on the 4th day when Maya received an unexpected radio call. It was Dr. Chen, her research partner, who was supposed to arrive next week. "Maya, I'm coming!" In early Chen's voice crackled through the static. "I've been monitoring the seismic sensors remotely, and there's been some unusual activity in your area. Are you feeling all right?" "Your last report seemed off." Maya's heart sank. Chen was brilliant and observant. If he arrived early, he would notice something was wrong immediately. She looked at Kira, who had gone very still, her skin patterns dimming with worry. "We need to hide your ship," Maya said quickly, and figure out what to tell him. "There's nowhere to hide it," Kira replied. "And your friend will sense the energy signature if he has proper equipment." Maya paced the small room, her mind racing. She had never been good under pressure, and the weight of protecting Kira was starting to crush her. The alien princess had become more than just a scientific discovery. She was becoming a friend, maybe even something more. "I could leave," Kira said quietly. "Use my emergency beacon to call for rescue. It would be safer for you." "No," Maya said firmly. "You said yourself that your people are looking for you. If they find you, they'll force you into that marriage." Kira's skin patterns pulsed with surprise and gratitude. "You would risk your career for me, your reputation, your safety?" Maya realized she would. Somewhere in the past few days, Kira had become the most important thing in her world. The thought of losing her was unbearable. "We'll figure something out," Maya said. "Maybe Chen will understand. Maybe we can trust him." But even as she said it, Maya knew it was wishful thinking. The arrival of an alien refugee would change everything. Governments would get involved. Scientists would want to study Kira. The military would see her as a potential threat, as night fell over the desert. Maya watched Kira create another holographic display. This time it showed the two of them sitting together in the research station. The image captured something Maya hadn't noticed before. Their skin patterns were starting to synchronize, creating a harmony of light that was beautiful to see. "Bond grows stronger," Kira said softly. "Soon, we will be able to share not just thoughts, but dreams and memories. Among my people, this is considered sacred." Maya felt a flutter of fear and excitement. Her quiet life was disappearing, replaced by something wonderful and terrifying. Tomorrow, Chen would arrive with questions she couldn't answer. But tonight, she was content to sit with Kira and watched the stars, knowing that both their worlds were about to change forever. Dr. Chen arrived at the research station just as the sun was setting behind the mountains. Maya had spent the entire day helping Kira prepare for this moment. They had moved all of her alien technology into a hidden compartment behind the supply room, and Kira had learned to dim her skin patterns until they were barely visible. "Maya, you look terrible," Chen said as he climbed out of his jeep. "Are you sure you're feeling better?" Maya forced a smile. "Just tired. It's been quiet out here. Maybe too quiet." Chen was a good friend and an excellent scientist. He'd worked with Maya for 3 years, and she knew he could read her moods better than anyone. As they ate dinner together, she could feel him studying her, noticing things that didn't add up. "The energy readings from your last report were fascinating," he said, pulling out his tablet. "Have you been able to identify the source?" "False alarm," Maya lied. "Equipment malfunction." Chen frowned. "That's strange. I brought some new sensors to investigate. We should check it out tomorrow." That night, Maya couldn't sleep. In her narrow bunk, knowing that Kira was hiding in the storage room just 20 feet away, through their mental connection, she could feel the alien princess's fear and sadness. Kira was trying to stay calm, but Maya sensed her preparing to leave. Around midnight, Maya felt a new presence touching the edge of her consciousness. It wasn't Kira. This mental voice was cold and commanding, speaking in the same telepathic language that Kira used. "Princess Kira of the Crystal Throne," the voice announced. "You will surrender yourself immediately." Maya sat up in bed, her heart pounding. Through the thin walls, she heard movement in the storage room. A moment later, the door to her quarters opened silently, and Kira slipped inside. Her skin patterns were pulsing with alarm. "They have found me," Kira whispered. "The hunters are here." "Hunters?" Maya asked, though she was already getting dressed. "Elite soldiers sent by the council to bring me home. They cannot be reasoned with or bargained with. They exist only to complete their mission." Outside, strange lights began appearing in the desert sky. Not the warm glow of Kira's ship, but harsh white beams that cut through the darkness like searchlights. Maya heard Chun's voice from the next room, confused and frightened. "Maya, what's happening out there?" Before Maya could answer, the front door of the research station exploded. Inward, 3 figures entered, wearing armor that seemed to absorb light. Their faces were hidden behind masks, but Maya could see their eyes glowing red through the visors. The lead hunter was taller than the others, moving with deadly grace. When he spoke, his voice echoed strangely, as if coming from multiple directions. "At once, Princess Kira, you have violated the sacred laws of our people. You will return with us to fulfill your duty." Kira stepped forward, her skin blazing with defiant light. "I will not be forced into a loveless union to serve political goals. I claim the right of exile." "There is no right of exile in time of war," the hunter replied. "Your marriage to Prince Devon will unite our people against the rebel factions. Without this alliance, millions will die." Maya felt Chen cowering behind her, overwhelmed by what he was witnessing. She wanted to protect him. She also couldn't abandon Kira. The telepathic bond between them was stronger than ever, and she could feel every emotion that Kira was experiencing. The war could be ended in other ways, Kira argued.
Through
negotiation, through compromise. Marriage should not be a weapon of politics. The lead hunter's mask retracted, revealing a face that was beautiful but utterly without mercy. "You speak like a child, princess. The council has decided. You will return, or we will take you by force." "And what of this human?" another hunter asked, pointing at Maya. "She has been contaminated by prolonged contact with the princess. Neural link between them grows stronger each day." Maya felt a chill of terror. The hunters knew about their connection. Worse, they saw her as a threat that needed to be eliminated. "The human is irrelevant," the lead hunter said. "She will forget what she has seen, just as all witnesses must forget." That's when Maya understood. They weren't just here to capture Kira. They were going to erase her memory, maybe Chen's too. All evidence of alien contact would disappear. leaving her with nothing but dreams she couldn't explain. No, Maya said, stepping between Kira and the hunters. You can't just take her. She doesn't want to go. Hey. The hunter looked at Maya with something like amusement. Human, you do not understand the forces you meddle with. Step aside or share her fate. Through their mental link, Maya felt Kira's desperation and terror, but underneath those emotions was something else. Hope. The alien princess was formulating a plan, something that involved the ancient laws of her people. Maya, Kira said aloud, her voice carrying a strange formality. There's one way to prevent this, but it requires great trust between us. What do you mean? Maya asked, though she could sense the answer forming in Kira's mind. Kira turned to face the hunters, her skin patterns shifting into complex symbols that Maya was beginning to recognize as formal language. I invoke the law of sacred sanctuary, Kira announced. This human has shown me kindness and protection when I was wounded and alone. By the ancient codes, I claim the right to seek shelter in her care. The lead hunter's expression changed from amusement to surprise. The law of sacred sanctuary has not been invoked in over 1,000 years. It requires specific conditions to be met, then test those conditions, Kira replied boldly. Maya didn't understand what was happening, but she could feel Kira's determination through their link. Whatever this law was, it represented their only chance. The hunter considered this for a long moment. Finally, he spoke. Very well. If the human accepts the sacred bond of protection, we cannot interfere. But know this, princess. The bond must be sealed according to our traditions. Are you prepared for such a commitment? Kira looked directly at Maya, her glowing eyes full of desperate hope. When she spoke, her words carried the weight of ceremony and law. You will share my bed tonight, human, not as lovers, but as sworn protectors. By the laws of my people, this bond cannot be broken by force or command. Maya felt the full meaning behind Kira's words flow through their mental connection. In Kira's culture, sharing one's sleeping space was the ultimate act of trust and protection. It created a sacred bond that even royal hunters had to respect. But it also meant that Maya would be forever linked to Kira's fate. The research station fell silent, except for Chen's rapid breathing and the hum of alien technology. Maya looked at the hunters, then at Kira, then at her simple human life that was about to change forever. Yes, Maya said quietly, except the lead hunter stepped back, his expression unreadable. So be it. The sacred bond is acknowledged. We cannot take the princess by force while she remains under your protection. But know this, human. You have made yourself an enemy of the Kirin Council. We will return. As quickly as they had arrived, the hunters departed. Their ships disappeared into the night sky, leaving Maya and Kira alone with Chen, who was staring at them both in complete shock. Maya, he whispered. What have you done? The sacred bonding ceremony took place under the desert stars. I had no idea what she was getting into, but Kira guided her through each step with gentle patience. They sat facing each other on Maya's small bed, their hands touching, while Kira spoke words in her ancient language. Repeat after me, Kira whispered. I offer you shelter when you have none. I offer you strength when you are weak. I offer you my protection until the stars grow cold. Maya spoke the words, feeling them resonate through her entire body. As she finished the vow, something incredible happened. The world exploded into color and sensation. Suddenly, she could feel everything that Kira felt. The alien princess's fear, her gratitude, her desperate hope for freedom. But it wasn't just emotions. Maya found herself experiencing Kira's memories as if they were her own. She saw the crystal cities of Kira's homeworld, felt the weight of royal responsibility, and understood the crushing pressure to sacrifice personal happiness for political peace. The bond is complete, Kira said, her skin patterns now perfectly synchronized with Maya's heartbeat. We are connected now in ways that cannot be broken. Dr. Chen sat in the corner, still in shock from everything he had witnessed. Maya, this is insane. Do you have any idea what you've done? When the government finds out about this, they won't find out, Maya said firmly. Not if we're careful. But even as she spoke, Maya knew it was wishful thinking. The hunters had left, but their ships had been detected by satellite systems. Military forces were probably already mobilizing. Within hours, maybe minutes, the research station would be surrounded. Chen pulled out his satellite phone. I have to report this. It's my duty as a scientist. Please don't, Maya begged. Give us time to figure this out. Figure what out? Chen demanded. You've bonded yourself to an alien refugee who's wanted by her own people. There's no way this ends well. Before Maya could respond, alarms started blaring from the station's communication center. Red lights flashed as emergency broadcasts filled the airwaves. Military channels were buzzing with activity. Someone had detected the alien ships. Now everyone wanted answers. Through her new connection with Kira, Maya could sense something else approaching. More ships, but these felt different, heavier, more dangerous. The Council has sent reinforcements, Kira said, her face pale with worry. They're not just hunters anymore. These are warships. Maya's heart sank. How many? Enough to level this entire region if they choose to, Kira replied. My people do not make idle threats. Outside, they could hear the sound of helicopters approaching from the south. Earth's military forces were closing in from one direction, while alien warships descended from space. Maya realized they were about to become ground zero for the first contact between two civilizations. It wasn't going to be peaceful. Chen was frantically trying to reach his superiors on the radio. This is Dr. Chen at Station 7. We have a situation here that requires immediate evacuation. I repeat, we need evacuation now. But even as he spoke, Maya knew there was nowhere to run. The bond she had accepted with Kira meant that she was now part of this conflict, whether she wanted to be or not. Through their mental link, she could feel alien minds pressing at the edges of her consciousness. They're trying to break our connection, Kira explained. The Council has telepaths with them. They're attempting to sever the sacred bond by force. The mental assault felt like knives in Maya's brain. She gripped Kira's hands tighter, trying to maintain their link while alien minds tried to tear it apart. The pain was incredible, but Maya refused to let go. Why is the bond so important to them? Aya gasped between waves of mental agony. Because as long as we're connected, you share my royal status, Kira replied. You have the right to speak for me in negotiations. They cannot simply take me without dealing with you as well. Maya suddenly understood. The sacred bond wasn't just about protection. It was about giving her a voice in alien politics. As Kira's bonded protector, she had legal standing in their society. What if we could end the war without the marriage? Maya asked. What if there was another solution? Through their link, Maya felt Kira's excitement and hope. There might be. But it would require convincing both the Council and the rebel factions to listen to reason. Then that's what we'll do, Maya said, though she had no idea how. The sound of helicopters was getting louder. Through the windows, Maya could see lights approaching from multiple directions. Soon, the small research station would be surrounded by military forces from Earth and space. Chen finished his radio call and turned to them with a grim expression. The army will be here in 20 minutes. They're bringing specialists in alien contact protocols. Maya, you need to understand something. Once they arrive, you'll lose all control over this situation. Maya looked at Kira, seeing her own determination reflected in the alien princess's glowing eyes. Then we don't wait for them to arrive. What do you mean? Chen asked. We go to them, Maya said. Both sides. We make them listen before anyone starts shooting. Kira's skin patterns pulsed with understanding. The Council ships have a communication array. If we can reach them, we could broadcast to both our peoples simultaneously. That's suicide, Chen protested. Those ships have weapons that could vaporize us from orbit. Maybe, Maya admitted. But what's the alternative? Let two civilizations go to war because nobody wants to try talking first? Through their bond, Maya could feel Kira's memories of her homeworld's civil war. Cities destroyed, families torn apart, entire populations displaced by fighting that could have been prevented with better communication and compromise. I won't let that happen to Earth, Maya said firmly. I won't let it continue happening. To your people, Kira stood up. her decision made. And we go together. The bond between us is strong enough now to project our thoughts to both species simultaneously. You're both insane, Chen said, but Maya could hear admiration in his voice. If you're really going to do this, you'll need help. What kind of help? Maya asked. Chen pulled out his laptop and began typing rapidly. I'm uploading everything to the international scientific community. Every recording, every image, every piece of data about Kira and her people. If something happens to us at least, the world will know the truth. Maya felt a surge of gratitude for her friend. Chen didn't understand everything that was happening, but he was willing to trust her judgment. Outside, the first helicopter touched down. Through the windows, Maya could see soldiers taking positions around the research station. Alien ships hung in the night sky like new stars. Are you ready? Kira asked, taking Maya's hand. Maya squeezed back, feeling the full weight of their connection. Two worlds were about to collide, and somehow she had become the bridge between them. She was terrified, but she was also determined. Let's go save. Two civilizations, Maya said. Together, they walked toward the door, ready to face whatever consequences awaited them. The bond between them pulsed with shared courage, shared hope, and the desperate belief that understanding could triumph over fear. The night air was filled with the sound of helicopters, alien engines, and the crackling of radio communications. In multiple languages, Maya realized that whatever happened next would change the course of history for both species. She just hoped they would live long enough to see if their gamble paid off. Maya and Kira stepped out of the research station into a scene that looked like something from a science fiction movie. Military helicopters surrounded the building, while massive alien ships hovered silently overhead. Searchlights crisscrossed. The desert and soldiers pointed weapons at targets they didn't understand. Don't move, shouted a voice through a megaphone. Keep your hands visible and stay where you are. Maya raised her hands, feeling Kira do the same beside her. Through their mental bond, she could sense the alien princess's calm determination. Kira was scared, but she was also ready to face whatever came next. Colonel Torres, the commanding officer, approached them cautiously. His face was tense with the weight of first contact protocols that no one had ever expected to use. Dr. Rodriguez, we need you to step away from the alien immediately. For your own safety, I can't do that, Maya replied. We're bonded now. Separating us could harm both of us. Through their telepathic link, Maya felt Kira reaching out to the alien ships above. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Dozens of alien minds pressed against their consciousness, all speaking at once in the formal language of Kira's people. Princess, you will surrender yourself and your human companion for questioning, came the unified mental voice of the council. I will speak, but not as a prisoner, Kira replied, her thoughts carrying the authority of her royal bloodline. I invoke my right to address the council directly. Maya felt the surprise ripple through the alien minds above. They hadn't expected Kira to claim her royal privileges while bonded to a human. Colonel Torres was speaking rapidly into his radio, coordinating with forces that Maya couldn't see. Command, we have the situation contained, but the alien ships are not responding to our communication attempts. That's because they're talking to us, Maya said. Through telepathy. And they're not happy. What do they want? Torres asked. Maya looked up at the ships, feeling the weight of dozens of alien minds focused on her. They want Kira to return home and marry someone she doesn't love to stop a war. She wants to find another solution. And what do you want? Dr. Rodriguez. Maya thought about that question. A week ago, she would have said she wanted to be left alone to study rocks in ancient craters. Now, with alien thoughts flowing through her mind and the fate of two worlds hanging in the balance, her answer was different. I want to prevent a war, she said simply. Both here and on Kira's world. Through their bond, Maya felt Kira's love and gratitude wash over her. The alien princess had never expected to find such loyalty from a stranger, especially not a human stranger. There might be a way, Kira said aloud, so that both the humans and the telepathic aliens could understand. But it requires trust from all sides. Colonel Torres lowered his weapon slightly. Oh, what kind of way? Kira's skin pattern shifted into complex symbols as she prepared to address both species simultaneously. Maya felt the alien princess drawing on their bond, using Maya's human perspective to bridge the gap between two very different ways of thinking. My people are fighting over resources, Kira began. Rare minerals that our technology requires. The marriage alliance was meant to unite our factions so we could expand to other worlds and take what we need. Take from where? Torres asked, his voice sharp with suspicion. From worlds like yours, Maya said, understanding flooding through her via their mental link. Earth has everything they need, but in quantities too small to matter to us, and too large for them to ignore. Kira nodded. But there is another option, one that requires cooperation instead of conquest. Through their bond, Maya saw the solution forming in Kira's mind. It was brilliant in its simplicity, but it would require both species to trust each other completely. We share knowledge instead of fighting over territory, Maya said, the words coming through their mental connection. Your people teach us about advanced technology. We help you find uninhabited worlds with the resources you need. Colonel Torres looked skeptical. And why would they agree to that instead of just taking what they want? Because war is expensive, Kira replied. And because my bonded partner has given me something my people have forgotten. What's that? Torres asked. Hope Maya and Kira said simultaneously, their voices perfectly synchronized through their mental link. Above them, the alien ships began to descend. Maya could feel the council members preparing to reject the proposal, to demand Kira's return according to their original plan. But she could also sense something else. Curiosity. Some of the alien minds were intrigued by the possibility of cooperation. Let me speak to them directly, Maya said to Torres. Through the bond, I can project my thoughts to their entire council. They need to understand what humans are capable of when we work together instead of fighting. Torres hesitated, then nodded. Do it. Maya closed her eyes and reached out through her connection with Kira. Suddenly, her consciousness expanded beyond anything she had ever imagined. She was touching the minds of beings from across the galaxy, each one ancient and powerful beyond human understanding. But instead of being intimidated, Maya drew on every memory she had of human cooperation. She showed them the International Space Station, built by former enemies working together. She shared images of disaster relief efforts, where people of different nations and cultures helped strangers in need. She projected the history of human scientific advancement achieved through the sharing of knowledge across boundaries. This is what we offer. Maya's thoughts resonated through the alien collective consciousness. Not submission, but partnership. Not conquest, but collaboration. Get the response was immediate and overwhelming. Some alien minds recoiled from the idea, seeing it as weakness. But others were fascinated. Maya felt their thoughts, probing her memories, trying to understand how humans could accomplish so much through cooperation when Kira's people had turned to war. Through the bond, Kira added her own perspective, sharing her memories of the destruction caused by the civil war on her homeworld. She showed them cities in ruins, families torn apart, and resources wasted on weapons instead of exploration. There is another way, Kira's thoughts joined with Maya's. A better way. The Alien Council deliberated for what felt like hours, but was probably only minutes. Maya could feel their debate raging through the telepathic link. Conservative voices arguing against radical ones, fear battling hope. Finally, a decision was reached. We will attempt this cooperation, came the collective response. But the human will come with us as proof of good faith. If this partnership fails, the original marriage alliance will be enforced. Maya felt her heart skip a beat. They were asking her to leave Earth, to travel to an alien world as a kind of hostage to ensure the success of their plan. Maya, you don't have to do this, Colonel Torres said, having heard the telepathic conversation through their bond with Kira. Yes, I do, Maya replied. It's the only way to prevent a war. Dr. Chen appeared at her side, having listened to everything from inside the research station. If you're going, you're not going alone. Someone needs to document this for science. Maya smiled at her friend's courage. You'd really come with us? To another planet? Are you kidding? Chun grinned. This is the discovery of the century. Of all centuries, I wouldn't miss it for anything. 6 months later, Maya stood on the observation deck of the first joint Earth-Kieran space station, watching construction crews from both species working together to build something unprecedented. The terraforming project had been a complete success, turning a lifeless world into a paradise that both humans and Kierans could share. The Civil War on. Kira's homeworld had ended not through forced marriage, but through the promise of new worlds, and new resources gained through cooperation rather than conquest. Kira had been elected as the first president of the unified Kieran government. Her experience with humans making her the perfect bridge between old ways and new possibilities. Any regrets? Kira asked, joining Maya at the viewing window. Her skin patterns had settled into a constant gentle glow, reflecting the peace she had found in leadership, chosen rather than inherited. Maya looked out at the ships from both worlds working together in space, then at the woman who had changed her life forever. Just one, she said with a smile. What's that? Wish I could go back and tell my younger self that studying ancient craters would lead to traveling between the stars with an alien princess. Kira laughed, the sound musical and warm. Your people have an expression for this, don't they? About life being stranger than fiction? Something like that, Maya agreed, through their bond, which had only grown stronger over the months. Maya felt Kira's contentment and joy. The alien princess had found a way to serve her people without sacrificing her freedom. And Maya had discovered that her quiet life as a researcher was just the beginning of an adventure that would reshape to civilizations. As they watched the sunset paint the alien sky in shades of purple and gold, Maya reflected on how a single night of trust and courage had led to this moment. The bold declaration that had started everything seemed like a lifetime ago, but she could still remember the exact words that had changed both their worlds. You will share my bed tonight, human. It had been a plea for sanctuary that became the foundation for an alliance between the stars. Not bad for a simple archaeologist who just wanted to study rocks in peace.